welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot for another Friday illumination into your question, or questions. If you have multiple, you could choose multiple piles for this. So I'm working on getting a little bit away from yes, no, the black and white of yes, no with questions. So even though there may be a yes or no that comes up, for the most part, we're just going to be getting into that, just into the context of the question, finding illumination, guidance, wisdom around what's going on in your question. And if a yes, no feels strong, then, I will bring that up. But I would be geared up for just expecting some illumination and insight into things more than really finding a definitive yes, no here. That being said, I still think we need to be phrasing our questions in a way that is positive so that we're all going in the same direction. So in a way that if a yes or no were to come up, phrase it so that the yes is the positive, what you would want out of the question, the highest good, the highest outcome of your question. So say you feel like you're hitting a wall in something, but you're still very, connected to it, but you're just like, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I don't know how to go forward, but in your heart, you don't necessarily want to move on. I wouldn't phrase it as, should I be moving on from this? I would phrase it as, more like, what, is this the right path for me, kind of thing, instead of, so the negative version of this would be, should I move on? And the positive, which is what we want, should be, is this the right path? And so just so that we're all kind of on the same page, going in the same direction, that the positive outcomes are the most, like the yes version, even though we may not get a definitive yes, but like something that's positive feeling is what you're hoping to get for your answer. Okay, I hope that long-winded explanation there made sense. And from here, let's look at our 4 stones as the placeholders for our 4 different pick a stone piles for your readings. We've got pile 1, which is a beautiful piece of selenite. And then pile 2, we've got howlite. Pile 3, we have a raw clear crystal quartz. And then pile 4, this is just a stone from the mountains, sort of where I live, in the same region of where I live. So I'm pretty sure it's an agate, so I'm just going to name it the Rocky Mountain Agate. It's kind of got a brownish, I'm trying to get a good light for it. Here we go. Got some brown with some whites and almost a greenish undertone in it too. Okay. So those are the 4 piles. And for those of you that enjoy the breath work I do to help you tap into your intuition, your higher self, as well as some inspiration, we will do that now. Otherwise, you can pause and do your own method of picking piles, and timestamps are in the descriptions. But for those of you who like the breath work, we will do that now. So place your feet firmly on the ground, feel the stability underneath you, and take a deep breath into your body. Really anchor it and weight it down into that stable, secure place. And then you can exhale that. And now take a deep breath in, and this time suck the air all the way up, up, up into the space between your brow. brows. Hold it there. Suck in a little bit more to add pressure. Hold, and then out loud, exhale that out, igniting both your third eye and opening your crown chakra. And now gaze over the 4 different stones and piles and ask which one is the most aligned for your question. And we will jump in from here. And I just want to thank everyone who comes to these time and again. This regular feature is becoming, really fun. And I think something a lot of you like to come back to time and time again. I know I will go back to ones I don't remember what I've said to do them for myself as well. Back in the archives when I have completely forgotten what the reading was. And I enjoy them that way too. But yeah, thank you for coming back and enjoying these. And I always feel really grateful for those really kind words and the thumbs up as well. Just wanted to give a little shout out of gratitude for those of you that are kind of becoming regulars here. I definitely notice and appreciate it. Okay, I will see you guys in your readings. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your insight into your question and potentially a yes or no, but minimally just some beautiful insight for you. So you guys picked this beautiful piece of selenite, and it may be hard to see, but it has some staining on it. Yeah, on this side you can really see it because I had previously had this piece of selenite in what's called Sigil water, and it really is this kind of witchy concoction you use to help just absorb negativity, absorb just things out of your system, out of your aura, out of your environment, to really help kind of cleanse things in your life. And it's interesting how much that showed up to me for the energy as I was pulling and shuffling cards, is this feeling of like something, it was more like some karma has been cleared. So that doesn't necessarily show a sway toward this being a positive outcome or not. But minimally, there is something positive to be taken from this reading, in that there is something that's cleared out of some karmic charge that you've had to be, entangled with. So let's look at your tarot cards first, and we're going to use those to get some sort of insight into whether things, are feeling sort of going towards a yes, going towards a no, positive or difficult or whatever. So 7 of Cups, Magician, and Knight of Wands. Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like a new beginning here, to be honest. So if you're asking about something that has a lot of past entanglement, the feeling I'm getting is like it's time to kind of move towards the new. If you're asking about something more new in your life, this is a really good sign of saying like, yeah, there is a lot of beautiful energy around you. You have a lot of manifesting power within you and a lot of sort of impulse as well. And so there is one warning entangled here, in that because you have a lot of kind of energy and willpower and a feeling of kind of like magic and assertiveness at your fingertips, there are probably a lot of possibilities of how to move forward here, or what's coming in for you here. And it's sort of like take some breaths, slow your step a little bit, and really feel into the different choices in front of you for those gut responses of like asking each opportunity, potentiality, possibility in front of you. Is this right for me? And wait for that kind of or uh-huh from your gut. Yeah, because there's some things that I think you shouldn't be wasting your time on that are new coming in, and there's some things that may not at first appearance or first impression seem to be magical, but they are. So it's like, take a little bit of time, do a little digging before you impulsively move forward with the magic you're kind of that is coming, whether you already feel it within you or whether this is something that's congealing and is about to kind of come into your energy field. When you feel that magic, whether that's now or in the coming days, yeah, just don't be too impulsive with it. Really do some weighing and measuring, ask some questions, take some breaths, and, you know, tap your intuition about this. It's like in a journal or just on a piece of paper, write like 3 sentences about, you know, this opportunity, this potential, this whatever it is, before you take action on any one thing. What just comes out of you? Don't even ask yourself a question to write about. Just write about what you feel when you think about this thing, this new path, opportunity, potential, idea, whatever it is. Like, write a few sentences and just see what comes out of you. And use that as a little bit of some, insight into what really is in alignment with you and what isn't. And when you get that really secure feeling, yes, this way or this thing or this opportunity or this idea, take immediate action. So there is this thing of like, there is immediate action that should be taken, but not until you feel really positive and clear about different choices swirling around you, because you can't do it all is the thing here. So take a beat to decipher which things are right and which aren't. Do a kind of a sorting process and then go. Okay, let's look at your astrology here. Solar flares activate. Yeah, there's new things coming in, especially, and it's a timing thing. And that's what I felt with the Magician. I sort of feel like some of you may be already feeling this, but just like in the last day. And for some of you, there's some kind of transit coming where it's going to all of a sudden kind of rise up in you. So there's a timing thing, and it is, you're going to feel energized. You're going to feel in your center. You're going to feel assertive and eager here. And for a lot of you, I think this probably has to do with career choices or something that you have a lot of aspiration in. You know, maybe there's, just as a metaphor, obviously, I doubt anyone here is trying to climb Mount Everest, but, you know, that type of, you know, it doesn't have to be career, but maybe you're like, I really feel like I need to climb Mount Everest and train for that, you know. So it could be just something aspirational in that sense, but I do think for a lot of you it could be a career. This question may pertain to career choices or openings or new ideas. So it's a beautiful time. Really positive energy is going to be flaring up and activating certain opportunities to come about. Just make sure you kind of sort through it, because you're not going to be able to do everything that activates in front of you. Okay, let's look at the last few oracle cards. Eternal Return. And I'm just getting again the sense here of it's like you've cleared something, and so like a path is really fresh paths are really opening up that are very positive, that are very connected to sort of destiny and dharma, but you need to kind of be clear on everything you say yes to. Yeah, it's like get clear before you take action. That's just what this feels like again. Because there is such beautiful potential for what you say yes to, but only if you're not saying yes to too many things. If you say yes to too many things, I feel that kind of opening, kind of shutting off again. Okay, handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Well, that's really cool. So that feels like that might help you understand the timing aspect. Someone may inspire you or have an opportunity for you. And that timing then opens up all these potentialities. And then archway, you can't make it up. New opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. And notice that that is plural in every sense. Opportunities, possibilities, paths. You can't do them all though, but how exciting, how fun, how beautiful, exciting. I think you've been waiting and eager for this to, like sensing that new things were coming, but sort of frustrated. And it's just like, yeah, some things needed to clear. But your spring is here and you just need to take a beat between each opportunity to get very clear yeses and nos, because not every opportunity and possibility and path should be taken, because you can't spread yourself that thin. I think they all probably have beautiful potential, but just kind of weigh all the possibilities against each other and which ones feel the most aligned within you. Beautiful. This is where I'm going to leave you guys, but really, really fresh. It feels like spring-like energy really coming in for you, like a thaw has happened, some karma been cleared, and just like the path ahead very clear. It's just, yeah, just be discerning about what you say yes and no to going forward. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you, pile one. Happy journeying into all these new possibilities that seem to be bubbling. All right, I will hopefully catch you in more readings in the future. See you guys. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your Friday illumination into your question. So you guys picked the Howlite group, and an intuitive hit I got from your stone as I was shuffling and drawing cards. It was really interesting. It actually took me quite some time to kind of decipher what it was I was feeling. I was feeling a lot. And I had to kind of ask questions to get to the root of it. I knew it felt positive, but there was something just like interesting going on that I couldn't put my finger on. And through just kind of asking some questions and feeling responses in my body, it was sort of like, and one clear message that did come through to me was like, there's a blessing coming your way. And then I felt this thing of like, it's very pure, but it's not simple. It's intricate, it's powerful, but there is purity there. So it's an interesting concoction, because usually I think of like pure and simple, but this was like pure and powerful, which is a really potent thing to feel, because usually powerful is not always so pure. Usually I put pure and simple together, and powerful and kind of a potency, but this was a pure, anyway, take that as you will, but some kind of blessing coming through that way. Doesn't really have to do with whether we get sort of a positive read on your question or not, but there is, that's just like a side insight around your energy right now. So we're going to look at your tarot, this top row of tarot cards, to get more of that kind of insight into if this is going towards a yes or no for you, or just some insight that needs to come through. Really gorgeous cards here. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful energy. I think that you are getting an aha on something you've been working really hard to figure out in your life. Like, I think you have a certain kind of mastery or skill, or have wanted to develop a mastery or skill, and have kind of almost like exhausted yourself in trying to figure out how you connect to it, what your instinct is with it, or what is the thing that you're supposed to be mastering. Maybe you've tried a bunch of things, or maybe you've been working really hard on one thing and just haven't felt that instinct kick in. And it's sort of like the sun is coming out and you're going to get that aha here, and a new sense of like new dreams and inspiration coming through as that aha and clarity settle in. Like a lot of new energy, a lot of new movement, a lot of new inspiration, information, movement, eagerness, excitement coming through here. This is a really interesting Eight of Coins. I've never seen one quite like this that feels sort of frustrating. But I think you've been working really hard at something, and it's about to pay off with a lot of, just new clarity, but also new kind of connection to it, new kind of creative, energetic release. Sort of not releasing what you're doing, but like a release in like, oh, this is how this is supposed to work for me, and this is what I'm supposed to do with this, and this is why I've struggled to master this or that, or pick which thing I'm supposed to master. It's like something's lightening up here, and instinct is really clicking in for you. So really gorgeous. Yeah. And plugging back into this stone, I really think there's some kind of blessing, whether that comes in the form of like a person, a message, some information, a circumstance or opportunity, but some blessing is coming in that I think is going to trigger this new clarity and aha, and this new lightening up, and a lot of new energy to be felt and eagerness here. So watch for something coming in that's helping to bless this and helping to reward you for all of your effort in whatever this question pertains to. Okay, let's look at your astrology. You've been on a big journey with this for sure. Messages coming in, ideas coming in, tension. You've certainly been on quite a journey. You've been working out a lot of inner tensions here. Whatever you've been working really hard at, it's sort of like both you've been working like against tensions within you around this, against tensions in the outer world around this. Like it's like there's been a compulsion here, but every angle of this has felt like a tension of like, I don't know how to make this fit, or what's supposed to fit. But it's like you're coming to the point of this journey where it's like, oh, it's like you're connecting to your soul or something here. And so soul type messages will be reflected to you from the outer world, but also through you from your own soul. But definitely, watch for this is giving me more insight into what's coming that's going to help this new lightening up and clicking in of things. It's like ideas coming up, information coming your way, connections coming in. And then, this, I'm riffing off of Mercury energy in general, but this card specifically says messages. So really look for some messages that are going to click something into place for you that I think are like a blessing being offered to you to really help this something, click in for you and finally work and have kind of like a new life. So yeah, that's beautiful to hear. Okay, last, let's look at some of your oracle cards. So you've got karma. I think that's been the tensions, these inner and outer tensions I talked about. I think there's some old karma you've had to kind of get through. And yeah, it's interesting. It came up in another pile too, not from this specific card, but this idea of some karma that's being cleared that really opens the door for yeah, kind of new opening, new refinement. Yeah, just a clearer, more refined way ahead that really feels aligned, and that you're able to just find new acceptance for yourself and in the outer world around. Okay, younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman. And it's interesting, the message that just came through to me when reading this was like, this is whatever gender you relate to yourself, the feminine side of yourself, that intuitive, dark, rich, receptive side of yourself is going to have a revived feel of feeling alive again and young again. This is more about like an internal thing is what I'm feeling. And then scales, keep your life in balance. Yeah, that's so interesting because I was feeling some Libra energy going on here, and the scales relates to Libra energy. And that's where I'm feeling like, yeah, something's coming into balance. It's like whatever tensions you've had to go through to kind of refine or make something click and find a certain like wholeness and purpose in something is like suddenly sinking in and aligning, and you will be coming into this phase of like more ease, more acceptance, of knowing how to exchange upon something here and make something work more in your favor and open more doors for you. And yeah, so really cool. It feels like moving in the journey of whatever this is. You're moving from this phase of trying to find some purpose and mastery to knowing how to now, what that purpose is, and now how to exchange with that, and how to now go out into the world in a bigger way with ease and confidence and balance. And yeah, so really gorgeous. Hopefully that brings the insight that you are looking for right now, or has something resonant in there for you pertaining to your question. And yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always am grateful when you give a thumbs up. It's helpful to know, what you guys are liking, and it helps my channel. And, as always, I'm very grateful for those of you that leave really kind messages. It's always nice to hear, and, see how you're responding to things. So yeah, and if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your Friday insight and illumination into your question. And, if possible, we'll try and get a yes or no, but minimally we'll bring some beautiful illumination and insight for you. Okay, like usual, I want to start out with intuitive messages I was getting through your stone as I was shuffling and drawing cards for your pile. And the energy, focusing on your stone, it was just something felt very clear and sparkly to me. And then as I started shuffling, the energy was so eager and kind of, cards just like falling out and coming out really fast. And usually when I get that kind of energy of like things sort of getting messy or falling apart as I'm working with the cards, I usually bring a message of like, slow down a little bit. You don't want to stumble over yourself or have some falls here. You need to be a little more cautious or careful. But I got almost like the opposite here, like it's okay for things to be a little messy, because if you try to be more thoughtful or cautious here, it will kind of squash a certain giddiness that you're feeling right now pertaining to this question, or that will be coming in the near future around your question. And so it felt fine. It felt fine for things to be like a little messy, because that was just kind of the energy that comes with the feeling here that felt so positive and sparkly. It was giddy. And so, yeah. And usually I would say these intuitive insights don't necessarily sway whether this is going to swing more towards, positive outcomes coming or negative, but I can't help but think that if you're going to be feeling giddy either now or soon, that has to be connected to something positive. But we'll see what your cards say. Interesting. 10 of Wands, Queen of Cups. I see what's going on here. 2 of Swords. Okay. Interesting. I think you've been in a holding pattern. I think you've been waiting. I think you've been in a holding pattern. I think you've been carrying a large load, either in your work or in your heart. Something where it's been really hard to feel like you can continue on this way with something, but not knowing how to sort of get off of that hamster wheel, or how to make certain decisions you're needing to make to kind of alter the pressure you've been feeling, the load you've been carrying, something like that. And what I'm feeling is that you are really going to be stepping into a much more powerful command of wanting to nurture yourself, nurture your life, and kind of like, it's like finding a new respect and a new power in valuing your time, your energy, your ability to be more receptive in life, and to make life more tender, more nurtured, more simplified in a way. And I think you're going to finally step off of that fence of indecision and make some decisions of like really simplifying things. And that simplifying of things is actually going to paradoxically make everything more fruitful, more important, more nourished, actually. And so instead of like trying to do so much, or carry so much, or feel so much, by kind of weeding things out and just doing things in a little bit more of an intuitive, slimmed down, easy, gentle, tender way, it's like everything suddenly works, and it's so easy, and you get such a good response from it outside of yourself, and such a new respect for yourself inside of yourself, of just trusting that you have everything you need. You have all of the heart you need, all of the wisdom you need, all of the resources you need to do things in a much more slimmed down and nourished way. And it just, it's like something just I don't know how else to say it, just clicks with that, and like things just get easier is all I'm feeling, like things getting easier, and you dropping into this owning of that, of like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. I respect this version of myself that's coming alive, and how I'm supposed to be received, how I'm supposed to receive myself, how I'm supposed to receive in the world. And it's just like a depth. It's like a depth unfolds in your life, in you, in what you're doing, in what you think about, worry about, do, in every dimension of your life. There's just a slower, more simple, but much more deep connection to how and what you're doing, how and what you're feeling, all of that. And it's just like you just command it, and it makes your life just bubble with ease, and it makes things so happy and beautiful for you. Okay, let's look at your astrology. Oh my gosh, okay. You've found what really feels luminous inside of you, hence outside of you, hence how to stoke your particular luminosity, hence how to grow the type of luminosity that you love outside of yourself as well. And this definitely is showing that you've been through it. You have been through it. You have been through a very long journey of something. But you're understanding, you've faced some shadows, you've come into a place of having to hold a lot of complexity, which means a lot of sensitivity, and holding space for that has allowed you to see shadows and to move through those. It's allowed you to see the bigger picture of things and have some ahas, and it's allowing you to kind of rebirth into a new version of you that's just like, no, we're keeping it simple and soulful. We're keeping it receptive and easy. And that is where my fire is. And that's what builds a fire in me, hence what brings luminosity into my world and attracts luminosity into my world. So yeah, the feeling here is like, relax into more ease within yourself, and then more ease will start to relax into your life. And there's something deeper and more soulful about doing this, and it just cultivates an energy within you and around you that's just lighter, that's just happier, that's just easier. Gorgeous. Wow. Love this reading, you guys. Okay. Final little, you've been in the void oracle cards here. You've really been shedding things. You've been completely, I think, surrendering to seeing the patterns of your life that have made things too heavy, too complex, too everything. And you've surrendered that into the void and really shed that way of being. And it's sort of like, it's just like you are re-emerging from the void as a completely reimagined version of your energy that really knows how to sit in the strength of receptivity, soulfulness, nourishment, tenderness, and a little bit of luxury too, I feel like, with this particular queen. But like also just like knowing how to stay connected to how things make you feel. Beautiful. Okay, last couple things. Cup. You should accept valid criticism. I think that's what you've been doing, the process of like really opening up to walking through your shadows, walking through the complexity of your life, and really getting real about seeing why your patterns tend to make your life overly complicated and overly heavy, or whatever your question pertains to, like a pattern of making things too much, too hard, too heavy, too intricate, too whatever. And I think you've really seen those shadows and accepted them, and been able to kind of shed it out, put it into the void, and shed that pattern from yourself. Then fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And I always love associating this more with the elder, the gray or the white hair. Something in you has reached kind of an elder status, a real new knowing and sageness coming through in you. So knowing how to truly once and for all shed some patterns around this question you've got. Yeah, it's like really coming into a sageness, really getting real about seeing your patterns, witnessing them, shedding them, and stepping into a new sageness of just, life can be, or patterns around what your question centers around can be so much easier and more soulful by connecting to your own luminosity and staying true to that and making it very pure and simple. Yeah, and it's just, going back to the feeling about the stone, this kind of shedding and rebirth, I think, is just bringing a lightness that you've needed to feel for a long time. And it's just a general sense. I don't think it's even about anything in particular. Even in relation to your question, it feels more just like your life feeling a little more giddy and easy and luminous. Yeah. So, all right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Pile 3, gorgeous energy coming through with your question. If this resonated, I always am so grateful when you guys give thumbs up and it's always nice to hear nice comments from you guys as well. If those, if there's things that really resonate or hit, it's always fun to hear about that. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. And hopefully I'll see you in more readings in the future. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your Friday insight and illumination into your question. And like usual, I'm going to start off with an intuitive hit from your stone that I got while I was shuffling and drawing your cards. And I loved the feeling I got with yours. The way I can be such an aesthetic person, and so sometimes that influences feelings I get with how the stone is kind of mixing in with whatever display I'm using. And I know it's hard to see on the way my lighting is currently. There's so many more layers and nuance to the stone than you can really see through the video. But it's like it just feels right where it is. And the sense I was getting beyond just that kind of aesthetic pleasure that I was receiving as I was shuffling and feeling into that, it's sort of like the sense I got is that there's like a shift that you are solidifying into in terms of mentality or in your heart or something, that like a much more positive, so maybe a generosity or a gratitude, just something a little bit more positive, like really solidly kind of sinking into you. And it's making your life feel more right and more beautiful. So we'll see how that pertains to what we see with the cards and your question. It may not really totally affect whether things are leaning towards a positive energy with your question or not, but that itself feels really beautiful. So we're going to look at this top row, which are your tarot cards first. Oh, I love it. To see kind of the nature of like how things are going here in a positive direction or challenging direction or whatnot. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I think you are, yeah, exactly. With the Lovers here, you're really finding some inner tensions that you've had really easing up within you. It's like you've found a way to kind of harmonize something inside of yourself that has been hard for you to connect. And it's really making you feel more solid and grounded in life. And because of that, I actually feel, I've always felt like these two cards are opposites of each other. They like hold the same spectrum of energy, but from an opposite direction, but they can work together very well. And this is about like inner tensions. And to me, this is about being able to hold, you know, this is like dualistic tensions within yourself or sides of yourself and trying to harmonize these dualistic qualities within you. And Temperance to me is a little bit more about having to hold almost like two senses of self because you're in like two different worlds. And Temperance finally helps us figure out how to kind of bridge those so we don't have to kind of compartmentalize ourselves or compartmentalize our worlds, and really being able to bring certain things together outside of us to feel easier, to feel more balanced and flowing and aligned and harmonious. So it's really cool to see that like the inner energy of like some kind of inner tension mentality really harmonizing within you. And I think that directly is resulting in some tensions outside of you having to hold kind of very different energies in your life because of different kind of worlds you're associated with, and like something about you figuring out your own dualistic nature is helping you to figure out how to make your outer world a little bit more harmonized and less dualistic too. And the result of this, to match this stone, is like something is feeling a lot more stable. And that may just come as like a sense of general peace, but it could also bring some financial stability as well your way. Like something, and I do, you know, having this bird protect, something's watching over you. You're being protected. I think something's been helping you to ease these tensions, harmonize these tensions. And they're looking over you and are so proud of you. And it's like you're being now protected in a material way, almost as a, I don't quite want to say it's a reward. I think that the harmonizing of dualistic things inside and in the different worlds you hold outside of you is like a key, for whatever reason, to finding more stability in your material life. And I'm seeing that coming through, and you're being very protected right now. So that's beautiful, beautiful to see. Okay, let's look at your astrology. Yeah, oh my gosh. You can't make this up. So opposition, which is what I was saying, how I feel like these are opposite, but they're, you know, they hold the same pole of energy just from opposite positions, and its opposition came out right in the center of these two. Yeah, and there's something, so coming under the Four of Coins, there's something about having harmonized these dualistic things, finding the center point that's really bringing you stability right now. It's like you've solved, I don't know that you solve an opposition, but you've found that balance point. You've found a way to hold both of, you know, dualistic things inside and outside of you in a really beautiful, balanced, dynamic way. And it's bringing more power to your sense of self to how you feel a belonging within yourself, hence outside of yourself. And these different kinds of worlds that I'm feeling like you hold outside of yourself in your life right now, it's like not only will you find a balance point there, but somehow, oddly, the two worlds or the many worlds you kind of hold, and your ability right now to start bringing those into not such having to hold such different energy all the time, but kind of bringing them together in some way, is bringing in really unusual and unlikely alliances, both for you, but because of how you've brought things together, other people are also finding unlikely alliances here. But really cool. Yeah. Really, really powerful energy. And I do, that sense of stability I felt with your stone and that I feel here, it's like you're really holding so much together, which is allowing so much to orbit around you and orbit in your world. And it's like you're the center of gravity that's holding like a whole ecosystem of things that's orbiting right now. And you're really being protected in doing so because you've found a capacity to know how to hold very dualistic things in a very harmonized, peaceful way. Yeah, really cool. Really advanced energy going on here. So I don't know what your question is, but give yourself some credit. However this feels like it applies to your question. Yeah, you are absolutely being guided and protected right now. Do anything, any crown chakra practices that either you can find online or already know to kind of keep that spiritual connection open. Yeah, because that's by keeping that active, open, cleared, that's how this guidance and protection is kind of coming into your life. So really pay attention to your crown chakra. Okay, and then last, beware of greed. The pig. I love pigs though. So this is maybe something that that you've had to get through, whether it's in yourself or outside of you, to balance some dualistic things, as maybe there's been certain aspects of self or certain aspects of things outside of your world that have been connected to money or power or acclaim or something, and it's sort of like you've had to figure out a way to find a higher good around that, instead of just being drawn into things, entanglements within self and entanglements outside of yourself that are using power, money, resources, whatever it is, for stature, and trying to find more higher purposes for those types of things. And I think through finding that kind of a lens, a better kind of mentality around this, I think that's something that's really harmonized something for you, of like, I don't want position just to have position. I don't want money or wealth just to have money or wealth. I don't want whatever just to, have a certain reputation or stature in life. It's like, no, I need a higher connection for why I'm driven towards those things. Like I want to, make a difference in the world, or help this, or be able to play a bigger role in the world or something like that. And I feel like there's just like a change in mentality you've found that's really harmonized all of this and made that connection to maybe wanting to play big in the world have a purpose to it, and not just to have it to have it, you know? Yeah, and it's really just, yeah, really clicked something in that's helped that harmonize yourself and your outer world in a much, much more positive, beautiful, fluid, stable way. Honestly, you guys, you can't make this up. Honor and respect will come to you. Yeah, I think you've kind of been seeking this, and it's just like you needed to, you know, down in the depths of us, there's always a reason there, but I think you hadn't kind of connected to the why behind wanting to aspire for big things and for honor and respect. And I feel like you've taken the time now to figure that out, to go with Pluto, to go under the surface and to see all the dark hidden parts of yourself and the worlds you circulate in, and to understand what's really going on there, hence connect to a much higher reason and insight around wanting honor and respect. And now that you understand that, under the surface of why that's there, now it's freed up. Now there's life force that can move in this area for you, to really, yeah, move you up in the world, because you know your purpose for wanting to get there. Yeah. So, wow, really powerful, you guys. I wasn't expecting, I mean, I felt a lot about this stone and it was really beautiful, but I wasn't expecting such like big worldly power stuff to come out. So yeah, I'd definitely be interested in the comments how this pertained to your question, or yeah, how that hits for you. And definitely, I always am very grateful for little comments, for thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. It helps me to know what you guys are connecting with. And especially little kind comments I've always been very grateful for. So thank you for those of you that do that. For those of you that have been coming now back as regulars, I definitely noticed that. And yeah, it makes me feel excited to have, yeah, people that are finding help and guidance through these readings. So, all right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys, and I hope to see you in more readings in the future.